A very good evening and thank you for tuning in to RwandaTV News. I am William Evans. First, the headlines. President Paul Kagame has applauded efforts to invest in African youth and urged young people to embrace self-reliance as a key driver for the continent's future. While Rwanda's Private Sector Federation says the International Trade Fair happening for its 28th time will not only open up trade links but also will attract long-term foreign investment for the country. On the international scene, in Haiti's capital, gangs now rule the streets, controlling 90% of the city and pushing the government to the brink of collapse. I am William Evans Mutawazi, and now this is the news in details. President Paul Kagame has attended the opening of the Giants of Africa Festival, a week-long celebration of sport, culture, community, and uniting over 320 young participants from 20 African countries. In his address, President Paul Kagame applauded Masai Ujiri's unwavering commitment to investing in Africa's youth and talent development. He underscored the festival's tangible impact not only in unlocking the continent's potential, but also in fostering critical infrastructure across participating nations. The president also delivered a strong message to the young Africans, urging them to embrace self-reliance as a cornerstone of progress and reject the narrative of Africa as a continent that must always catch up, insisting instead that the future will be defined by the choices and convictions of its youth.
Urge you to believe in the giants that are in you. And then you go out, you work hard, you put in all the time you have and the resources you have. Put in time on court, off court, and that will bring out the giant in you, and that's what Africa needs to do. Africa needs to believe in the giant that Africa is. And we've got to come out and show it and do what we need to do that giants do. Giants grow, they develop, they stand tall, they believe in themselves. And Africa should not, cannot remain lagging behind the rest of the world. Why? What is the question? That can't be answered. Why? But in a small way like this, in this festival, we are reminded that we can start the numbers we are here, the countries we represent, and grow and bring out the many millions that Africans are and show their worth and continue to do Africa proud.
Africa and Rwandan youths have also been called to embrace expansive thinking as a catalyst for continental transformation. This call to action was the central message at the Giants of Africa Youth Day Forum, which brought together over 2,000 young participants in Kigali. Speakers emphasized the importance of entrepreneurship, harnessing local opportunities and fostering innovative thinking that creates meaningful value. Youths were recognized as pivotal agents in driving Africa's development agenda, while Isabella Kamaliza, founder and president of Solid Africa, alongside entrepreneur Dr. Christelle Giraneza Uwanheje, shared how visionary thinking and bold action have shaped their journeys to success.
Solid Africa started with youth. It started with heart, and it started with the belief that we don't need to grow old to actually bring change.
I'm a big believer that young people's voice, actions, and ability to create change for Africa is there, and it's here today.
Now, Dr. Jean-Paul Abdallah Utumatwishima, Rwanda's Minister of Youth and Arts, emphasized that being revolutionary begins with ideas powerful enough to transform lives.
Your name alone speaks volumes, giants. It's not about height or fame. It's about mindset. You remind us that being a giant is possible for African youth, not just in basketball, but in business, global leadership, arts, and innovation.
Masai Ujiri, co-founder of Giants of Africa, challenged youth to place Africa's progress at the heart of everything they do.
Everything I do is Africa, yes. And that's how you youth should think every day, because you see all of us here that came to speak, Festus, we all grew up in Africa. We wore our pants the same, we wore our shorts the same, we walked without shoes and went to school. We all did it the same, yes, and we got to where we are. And if we can do it, I'm telling you, I know I'm not as smart as you guys. I know a lot of us are not as smart as you youth. If we can do it, you guys can do it bigger, better, bigger, better, okay?
Now, the International Youth Summit preceded the official opening of the Giants of Africa Festival, which brought together participants from 20 African countries for a week-long celebration in Rwanda. Moving on, as Rwanda prepares to host the 28th edition of its International Trade Fair in just 2 days, the country's private sector federation says the initiative has not only opened up trade links, but also attracted long-term foreign investment. The event is expected to draw exhibitors from 19 countries across various continents. We have a report. Preparations are in full swing at the Gikondo Expo grounds in Kigali, the long-term home for Rwanda's International Trade Fair. Some exhibitors have already started engaging early visitors eager to showcase locally produced goods and services to the international market.
Ikintu tukura hano abari n'abanyamahanga bameze nka hari competition. Hari abantu bafite bimeze nk'ibyacu ariko batari abantu mu Rwanda.
What we do here is like some sort of competition. International exhibitors bring goods similar to ours, but from their countries. We learn from them and their goods that we do not have. There are many from Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania and others, and many have already started setting up their stalls. Generally speaking, this is a good platform to market our goods, and above all, those who come to exhibit also pay money which goes into our treasury.
Kwamamaza no kugira experience y'abo bantu bashaka twabonye tatumenyereye. Yego, n'umwanya mwiza wo kuduha.
This is a good platform to connect with customers. They have an option to buy right from our booth or at our offices. They can also just get all the information they need before considering to buy, and maybe return to buy some other time, because some of the products are not easily bought immediately because they are expensive. So many customers can come and window shop and then make up their mind and return to buy. This will be here for 20 days.
The
International Trade Fair has over time attracted participation from more than 30 countries. One of the long-term participants is Al-Gohari Ali from Egypt, attending for the 9th time.
9 years here, I starting for 25 stand. Yes. Okay. Now I have 30 stand. Before he take it also 40 stand. Huh? And I working from 2017. Yeah, now it's 9 years. And Alhamdulillah, you're making very, very good business. Okay. And I love this country. And inshallah, I will stay to 100 years. Okay. Rwanda is very nice country. She's safety. She have in future good business, inshallah. I see this because she have very, very good president. I love him so much. He is very, very good president. 100% I love him so much. I am Egyptian, huh? But you know, I am married Rwandese. I am married Rwandese and I have a daughter Rwandese. I have a daughter Rwandese and she is in Saint Joseph school. This is my daughter. This is my daughter in school, and she is Rwandese.
Sure.
Yeah, and me now I go to Rwandese. You know now how much I love Rwandese. I love Rwanda. I come here. I told you from 9 years. Okay. I met here first year I coming. Okay. You stay like 2 years. You love here, and I go to married here. I married here in office for Rwanda. Huh? I am not married in outside. Huh? I married professional married. You understand? Huh?
Yes.
And now I have this daughter, and she's have another daughter, and I have idea Rwandese.
Maybe you are Rwandese.
Yes, I am Rwandese now. I have. Yani after one year, I take nationality also. I see number one, not about security only. I see number one is very clean country, very safety. I love this. Huh? When I am businessman and I coming, number one I looking about safety, about my money. When you know, this is here. All this is my goods. You understand? Yeah. For this, I want a safety country. That's why I stay here 9 years.
Over the last 7 years, the International Trade Fair has evolved into more than just an exhibition. According to the spokesperson of the Private Sector Federation, Walter Hunde, the fair has played a key role in enticing foreign companies to invest permanently in Rwanda. The way this is planned is beyond just Rwanda and East Africa. This is attracting players from the entire Africa, Asia and Europe. That is why we say that it is an event organized proudly by Rwanda. A number of exhibitors love it, and a number of them end up investing here. I'll show you a number of exhibiting companies that began exhibiting but are now investors here. This means that this platform should be used in two ways. One, by exhibiting our products, but also appealing to foreign investors to take our products with them at the end of the exhibition. This year, the fair will be attended in 18 countries with expectations of great. Now, by the end of year 2050, Rwanda will need at least 5.5 million affordable housing units to accommodate its growing population, especially in cities. Now, with land becoming increasingly scarce, both the government and private developers are prioritizing vital housing solutions as a move they describe as not only just necessary but economically wise. We do have a report. In February this year, Rwanda's government approved a new urban housing policy, replacing the one that had been in place since 2015. Among its key elements is the promotion of high-rise residential buildings to maximize land use. For developers, going vertical is proving to be cost-effective, especially in urban centers where demand is surging.
And the good thing about this project is that it is affordable, because we have 1, 2, and 3 housing units. Each unit, 1-bedroom unit, is 27,500,000. 2-bedroom units are 37,500 Rwandan francs, and also 47,500,000 Rwandan francs, million Rwandan francs. So we intend to develop them soonest. The designs are done, everything. Whoever is interested can come and have a look at what we are going to develop, and they will be nice. They are good. It's a good project.
We intend to invest and build affordable houses for the next 10 to 20 years in Rwanda. So approximately we are of the capacity of even developing a minimum of 500 houses every year in Rwanda. We also have another part of our investment, which is a training. You can look at the technology that we are using. It's the first time that this technology is being used in Rwanda. You look at even the equipment that we are using. So we train Rwandese on a daily basis on how to use this equipment, on also how to use this technology.
To achieve this ambitious target, local construction material factories, both small and large, are stepping in to ensure availability of affordable and quality materials. That includes companies like High Quality Aqua Plastic Limited, where engineers like Msafiri Jean Bosco says the industry is quickly adapting to this vision. We have 3 channels, 2 PVCs with a 200 tons capacity, and the PPR have a capacity of 28 tons in a month. We are confident that if a client made their orders today, we have the capacity to deliver them in a timely manner. The new housing policy also embraces inclusive urban renewal, encouraging redevelopment without necessarily displacing existing residents, a shift explained by the Minister of Infrastructure, Dr. Jimmy Gasore. This project is a good and affordable one. House construction is now cheaper and enables people to remain in the same places without having to move or even disrupt their business. Some people would also struggle finding houses after getting compensated. So they now get a house and do not have to struggle looking for one. This helps them remain settled and their families. This initiative will continue in the next 5 years and expand to many other Rwandans. This approach is already gaining approval from communities who say they are being resettled with dignity without being uprooted from familiar neighborhoods. Our country has good leadership. The president has our best interests at heart and envisions a future that is bright for all of us. This project is amazing and we love it. We are grateful to our leaders for this project. Before, this place was dusty, but now we are staying in good houses with nice tarmacked roads, which makes life better now. We are grateful to the government. With Rwanda's urban population projected to jump from 27.9% in 2022 to 52.7% by 2035, and further still by 2050, housing will remain a central pillar in national development. The shift towards affordable, vertical and inclusive urban housing could be key to meeting that demand without leaving anyone behind.
Moments. Laying hooks. Giving away. Making moves. Breakfast with family. Inyanje is always there. Whatever the occasion, whatever the moment, always ask for Inyanje.
Nyiri muto arababwiraga data bati ntabwo wagira umukamo mwinshi utunze inka imwe, ariko nigeze acika intege. Mama akinjira mu bucuruzi hari abamubwiraga bati ntabwo watera imbere udakorera mu iduka rigezweho, ariko ntibyamusubije inyuma, yakoranaga umwete. Njya muri kaminuza hari abanshidikanyagaho bavuga ko nashobora kaminuza naturuka mu muryango wifashije, ariko byarangiye nanize amateka mashya. Igihe cyo gutera ishema umuryango wanjye kigeze, bamwe bakomeje kumbwira bati ntabwo watera umuryango wawe ibyishimo n'ishema, ariko narabishoboye. Hari abakekaga ko nasigira umurage ukomeye abankomokaho, ariko ubu mfite uruganda rutunganya amata. Banki ya Kigali yabaye umufatanyabikorwa wanjye mu rugendo rwose, inzozi zanjye ziba impamo. Bigereho.
Definitely, it's still RTV News in English, and we continue the bulletin to the international scene. On the international scene, in Haiti's capital, gangs now rule the streets, controlling 90% of the city and pushing the government to the brink of collapse. Over 1 million people have been forced to flee their homes, and nearly 5,000 have been killed in just 6 months. BBC takes us inside a nation on the edge of total breakdown.
Haiti, 6 months on, and the gangs here now control nearly all the capital Port-au-Prince. The violence and horror here is relentless.
We're not gonna let them come here and kill us, steal everything we have, burn cars, burn houses, kill kids. They don't care, they kill anything. What?
A complete breakdown of society, where women and children suffer most.
They raped me. I had my 6-year-old with me. They raped her too.
A country where 1 in 5 victims of sexual abuse are under the age of 18.
Port-au-Prince is the worst place in the world to be a woman.
Haiti is on the brink of collapse.
We've just been shot at by one of the gangs, and they've shot our front tire, which has gone flat.
And the fight is intensifying.
When we're fighting, we are possessed. We are no longer human. We become the devil.
This is the front line of a growing war against the gangs. This is Delmas 30, the scene of a recent gang attack. Women were raped, families murdered, an entire neighborhood now in ruins. Rodrigue is going back for the first time and is taking us with him.
So the gangs are stationed about 2 blocks away, and we're going into Rodrigue's neighborhood, which is still contested territory. We're being escorted by vigilantes. They are basically civilians who are trying to keep the neighborhood safe. They're filling in the security vacuum. All right, they're ready for us to go in. Let's go.
The vigilantes signal to snipers on the roof of a nearby bank. They're protecting the area to keep the gangs from returning, and they are close. The neighborhood is a maze of alleyways. At every open space, we have to run to avoid being spotted by the gangs. Finally, we reach the ruins of Rodrigue's home.
I'm going to follow him up there.
This is my bedroom. This is the kids' room. This is where I cooked. The bathroom is at the back. We had a good life here.
Yeah.
We were sleeping. It was 5:30 in the morning, and we had the ambush, shooting and fire. We had no choice but to flee. There were so many victims, people killed. They carried them out in wheelbarrows. People were hacked to death. So many victims.
The atmosphere is tense, and suddenly our visit is cut short.
All right. We don't know who shot. Do we know for sure? So we've just heard some shooting, and we've been told that it's probably the snipers from the bank, but we're worried that the gangs may retaliate at any moment, so we're going to leave.
The battle against the gangs is intensifying. And it's not just the bullets people fear. Rape is being used as a weapon. We're at a safe house in the suburbs of Port-au-Prince. It's home to dozens of young women and girls. They're victims of the most heinous crimes, exposed far too early to the cruelty of mankind. This girl is a survivor of rape.
We've come here to interview women who are victims of sexual violence, but I'm blown away by how young they are. Young girls holding on to babies. The youngest victim of rape is 12 years old, and the eldest is only 19.
Hélène was 17 when she was captured. She's now 19 years old and a single mother.
The gangs took over our neighborhood, and as we fled, they caught me.
She was held captive for over 2 months.
They raped and beat me. Sometimes I think about ending it all. They made me do things and said they'd kill me if I didn't agree. But then I fell pregnant, and they told me to abort the pregnancy, but I said no. This baby could be the only one I ever have.
While the gang was fighting, she managed to escape.
I always dreamt of going to school, to learn, and to make something of myself. I always knew I'd have children, just not this young.
In Haiti, rape has been used to terrorize and subjugate entire communities.
The statistics of how the violence is impacting women in Haiti are staggering. Tell me more about what you're seeing.
Port-au-Prince is the worst place in the world to be a woman. Why? Because the violence is around you. The women have to flee their houses. They flee without nothing. They are in centers where there is no water, no sanitation, they are overcrowded, and they suffer from direct violence because they are exposed, both in the centers as well as in the streets, to the men that are attacking them because they are powerless to defend themselves.
Haiti's most notorious gangs have united, forming a powerful coalition called Vivre Ensemble, meaning live together. We're entering their territory to meet one of their leaders. They told us not to film, but this is what we were able to capture. An area in ruins with barely any signs of life. Vag and his men were responsible for the Delmas 30 attack. This is his first interview.
I mean, look around you. People have been uprooted from their homes. Civilians have been killed. Women have been raped. Children have been murdered. Do you have any remorse?
When we're fighting, we are possessed. We are no longer human. We become the devil. Do you understand? We are people when, like this, you sit and talk to us, but if we're cornered, we'll come out swinging.
You know, we spoke to victims of the attack in Delmas 30, and some of their testimony is the worst I've ever heard. Why would you inflict such horror on your own people?
As a gang leader, it's my duty to fight. I will never give up until the state sits down with us. The dialogue will be good for us, but until then, we'll fight. It's the wealthy state that has decided to take us on.
How many people have you killed?
That's a difficult question because I'm fighting. Sometimes I kill people without even seeing them. They get shot and they die. Then we take their bodies and burn them. These chains I'm wearing belong to the people I've killed. Chains, rings, I take them and wear them to command the spirit of the dead.
And this is the view from those sent in to confront the gangs. The Kenyan forces arrived a year ago. Heavily armed and equipped with armored vehicles, they rarely leave. But in the 6 months since we were last here, the gangs have only become more organized and more powerful.
So we've just entered the area of Pakwa, which is yet another neighborhood in this city that's completely controlled by gangs now. Oh, I think they can see one of the gang members.
Within minutes, we come under fire.
We've just been shot at by the gangs, and it seems like they've aimed for the tires. Our front tire is now flat, and so we're looking for a safe place to park and assess the damage. I mean, there's only so much that the Kenyan police can do from inside this vehicle. They are outnumbered. There are thousands of men out there that have joined the ranks of the gangs.
Moments later, a bus full of civilians turns towards us, narrowly avoiding the crossfire. This is the kind of everyday terror they live with. With no success and our vehicle out of action, the patrol ends. But the Kenyans are no longer the only foreign fighters in town. We've been told by a source within the Haitian security force that they've hired private military contractors from the US. They're fighting the gangs with drones. They say one of them is led by Eric Prince, former Navy SEAL and Blackwater founder, and that he's recruiting mercenaries to deploy on the ground. Prince didn't respond to our request for comment. The mercenaries are already making gains. Gang leader Tilaple, who we interviewed 6 months ago, is the one targeted in this video. He's now said to be in critical condition.
The fight against you right now is really ramping up. There are American mercenaries that are going to come. There are drones being used. Are you not worried?
The mercenaries who are making these plans, who are plotting against us, the only thing I would say to them, is, how will they differentiate between us and the rest of the population? What would they do when we hide amongst the people? Are they going to destroy all of Port-au-Prince?
But Port-au-Prince is already being destroyed, street by street. The fighting has driven over 1 million people from their homes to places like this. A former public works ministry, now home to thousands of people, including Rodrigue. A tailor by trade, the only thing he could save was his sewing machine.
It's been 3 months and we're still here. I can't stay here with my wife and kids. This life wasn't mine. At 61, I can't start over. What am I going to do? There are no jobs, no nothing. The Haitian government is responsible. The gangs are in charge now. If the government had acted to protect us, would never have gotten to this point. It's the failures of the government which have led us here.
Everyone here in this IDP camp, and there are thousands of people, were uprooted from that one attack in Delmas 30. And that's what these gangs do. They go in and their brutality is hard to describe, but they uproot people from life as they know it.
Gernose and her 4 children live in these 2 rooms along with 20 of their extended family.
I lost my home in Delmas 30. They burnt it to the ground. They killed my auntie and my uncle. I want to go home, but there's nowhere for me to go. I used to be able to feed myself, but now I can't. I'm losing weight and I'm walking the streets in rags.
Haiti's long been one of USAID's largest recipients of funding. And for the people here, it is a lifeline. But as President Trump cracks down on what he calls wasteful spending, that lifeline is about to be cut.
Today you are seeing the last food we have from the US government. It has arrived from the US and is now being distributed. But we will run out, we will not have no food. If we stop giving food to the vulnerable women that are in displaced centers and the women that are in host families, they will have to find this food somehow. And that will make them very vulnerable, much more vulnerable they are now.
As food supplies run dangerously low, so does the resilience of those most at risk. At another women's shelter across town, we meet more survivors of sexual violence. Their stories are very distressing.
They shot my husband, they shot my little brother. At the same time, they went over to my 16-year-old daughter who was sleeping. Luckily for me, she was bleeding, so they didn't rape her.
They raped me. I had my 6-year-old with me. They raped her too. Our neighborhood was ambushed. I went back home only to find my mom, my dad, my sister. All were murdered.
Their testimony shows a pattern of rape, murder, and arson. MSF data shared with us exclusively show that it's only getting worse. The number of sexual abuse victims they've seen has nearly tripled since 2021.
Patients have started to share very, very difficult stories since 2021. They were always harrowing stories. Nowadays, survivors talk about 2 or 4 or 7 or up to 20 aggressors.
So you're saying one woman raped by 20 men?
Yes. Yes. Some of our patients are as young as 6 years old, and on average, 20% of the patients are under the age of 18.
And in this neighborhood, the risk to women and children is ever present. This area is right on the front line. The gangs are just a few hundred meters down the street. Vigilantes stand guard, protecting their territory. Mike is one of them. I ask why so many young boys are joining the gangs.
Because they give them money. If kids that in the ground like don't have no money, they like hard to leave. So of course they go join them.
Despite the government contracting in security reinforcements, for many it is too little, too late. They've been left to fend for themselves, taking matters into their own hands.
We're not gonna let them come here, kill us, steal everything we have, burn cars, burn houses, kill kids. They don't care. They kill anything. You know what I'm saying? So we're not gonna quit.
The gunshots are getting really close. They made me jump. But when I look around, everyone looks really calm, and it's because of how used to it they are.
As Haiti continues to battle itself, its people are desperate for some relief, longing for a life of peace and not just survival.
Very disturbing confessions from people from Haiti. Well, that brings us to the end of RwandaTV News. From me and the rest of the team, have a great night and a great weekend ahead.